Hi, welcome to Coffee with Kim. We are live today and I am so excited. So, does anybody know what these are? Whoops, I'm going the wrong way here, aren't I? There we go. So about it was I think it was this summer, I think it was in July, we had our EMT Eat, Move, and Think Different. And I've been starting to bring back some of those guests, and Mimi was here, and this is Palo Santo. And we are going to go dive deep into understanding what it is. And I am so excited.
Today on Coffee with Kim, coming from New York City, is Mimi Darra. Mimi is the founder and CEO of Maison Palo Santo, a boutique aromatherapy company specializing in Palo Santo products to improve physical, mental, and spiritual health. As a 200-hour RYT specializing in vinyasa, yin, meditation, and breathwork, she is not your average yogi. She has a practical and comical approach to mindfulness. In 2016, with a vision to spread positivity and inspire others to live their dreams through her signature line of candles, Palo Santo, guided meditations, and self-care items. All the products she sells, she makes alongside her husband with a mission to spread love and peace through Palo Santo. She plants a tree with each purchase in the dry tropical forest of the coast of Ecuador. Mimi, welcome to Coffee with Kim.
Woohoo!
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited for today. And I since July, I've been using Palo Santo for a while. I do saging and things, but I love. Look what she did. The gratitude one, and we have the coffee with Kim one. All these cool things that you can do. And so we're going to have you start out talking a little bit about you because holy moly, you have so many certifications and so many things that you do. And then we're going to get dive deep, but I want them to get a little bit about you because you are, like the promo reel said, you are so fun.
I know. I feel like I need to start telling some jokes or something right now. Um, but yeah, my name is Mimi Darra, and through New York City here, and I'm just super, super happy to be here. We started our quest with Palo Santo back in 2016 on the coast of Ecuador, and it's just been a really amazing journey since then. My background is actually in restaurants in New York, and a totally different world than what I am in now, which is more about yoga and meditation and breath work, which I discovered through my travels. And I really dove deep into that practice right before the gift of the global pandemic, right? The one that keeps giving us different ways in Austin, Texas. And I started really incorporating Palo Santo into the yoga and into the meditation. And I started diving deeper into the health benefits of it because I myself had felt a deep, deep, deep transformation. So that became the journey of Palo Santo, which we discovered it in Ecuador, and we started bringing it back. And I started bringing it back to my restaurant people the most because if anybody's ever worked in a restaurant, you understand that you need to relax.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yes.
that's where I started doing custom orders for candles and Palo Santo and incorporating it into my own yoga practice. And then I
So
became a yoga teacher.
are you from there, or is your husband from there, or how did you get into Ecuador?
So we went there. Actually, I traveled there with my best friend in New York, who is from Ecuador. And no, we're not there. My background, my family is from France, and my husband is from Morocco. So we speak French, not Spanish, although
Okay.
yo hablo español también now after many years of living there. But we found it just by chance. And I found it. I had changed a plane ticket, the name of a plane ticket for my friend who said, come with me to Ecuador. And we traveled all around almost a month through the country with her family. And we ended up on the coast as our very last stop. And I just kind of fell in love with the authenticity of the place. It was very kind of rustic, and I saw a lot of opportunity for personal growth, and the beach is very natural and it's very wide, and it's just very different than, from somebody coming from New York. You go there and there's very few people on the beach. And I was just like, I love this place. This place was awesome, but also very international. I met so many people from Europe, so many people from other countries in South America, and it's actually one of the largest surfing destinations in the world. So you get a really cool bohemian vibe there, and there's surf 365 days a year. So, and also Palo Santo.
Yes,
so it was kind of just like a win-win for us.
So we had some cool pictures in the promo, of you holding, and there's the tree. So help us understand, what is the history and how does this come? Because we have to start there, because like I said, I've been using it and what I thought it was, but man, since you and I have connected, I'm learning on a whole nother level.
Well, Palo Santo, and there's a couple different types of Palo Santo. So we want to be clear that the one that we use, and this is a little heart-shaped
Oh, I love that
one. I know you like hearts.
I know.
so here's a little heart-shaped one. But Palo Santo Bursera graveolens, and this is a tree that grows in Ecuador, in Peru, and other small sections of South America. But the largest concentration of Palo Santo trees are in Ecuador, in the dry tropical forest. And the dry tropical forest is definitely threatened. There's less than 1% of dry tropical forest left in the world, and that's because it's easily inhabitable. It's easy to get in there because it's dry, right? So it's not as crazy as the rainforest, for example, and it doesn't get as much, let's say, publicity about it. People don't know that there are things called the dry tropical forest, but this tree it's in the citrus family. It has a very aromatic scent to it.
It does.
But the most important thing to know about Palo Santo is that the aromatics only come from branches that die naturally, fall to the forest floor, and then lay dormant anywhere between 3 to 10 years. And it's in these concentrated branches that we distill our essential oil, which we use for, this is our lifeline. We call it liquid gold, right? This is what we use for everything. And this is where we get el corazón, the heart of the tree that we cut into smudge sticks that have the aromatics. These have a lot of oil in them. So when you burn it, this is the scent that you're going to get. So
mine's been burned a lot.
Yeah. I'm just going to light mine up while I'm talking, but Palo Santo itself is not endangered, and there's a lot, and I really want to make that clear. Palo Santo itself as a tree is not endangered. However, the dry tropical forest of which it comes from, the very delicate biome that is in Ecuador, is threatened. So Palo Santo is a great tool to reforest and regenerate this biome, because it's actually a really easy plant to grow once it's germinated and transplanted. And I'll get into that later, because with each product that we sell, we donate one seedling, the funds for one seedling, to germinate and to plant. So you have to germinate the seed in a nursery, in a greenhouse. And then once that grows, you take that seed, that plant with the roots, and you plant it. And then once you plant it, it's like you set it and you forget it. It grows. It has short roots that grow out wide.
Okay.
And it grows easily, and planted along other indigenous plants, because you can't just plant Palo Santo, right? Because then it would just be like a farm. But you plant other indigenous plants, and this is encouraging the reforestation and the regeneration of the dry tropical forest, which is the most important. So there's 2 different types of Palo Santo that are mainly known, and one of them is endangered, and it's called Bursera sarmientoi. And that is a much larger tree that's used to make furniture. So you would imagine that there's a lot more of it needed, and it's a totally different plant. So if anybody has any questions about that or isn't sure, just double check the scientific name of it. You could reach out to me, you could reach out to you. And it's really important to know your supplier when we talk about things and sustainability, because, not to say anything against anybody, but that's kind of a word that people love to throw around. Sustainable. So in my opinion, unless you really know the source yourself personally, like me, because they're only 45 minutes away from my house that I built in 2013, it's really hard to know yourself. So it's really good to work with somebody that you trust. So the history of Palo Santo, as far as the uses of it, so now we know that it's a tree that comes from Ecuador. It's grown in the dry tropical forest. It's great to help regenerate the delicate biome that we rely on as one of the most biodiverse countries in the world.
Wow.
The history of it has always been to use it for energy cleansing and spiritual healing. And it's a very protective tree. So, way back, people, when they would leave their village, right? With this,
Uh-huh.
now, I mean, maybe for me too. Every time I leave my house, I'm like, oh my god, I hope I make it back, right? Because you never know, what happens. But
Yeah.
before, in the old times, when you would leave your village, it would be very dangerous, right? There could be all kinds of things:
Yeah.
animals, nature, weather, people, other villagers. People weren't as together as they are now. People would put their hand on the Palo Santo tree as they would exit their village, and they would ask for protection. And when they came back, hopefully, if they came back, they would place their hand on the Palo Santo tree and they would thank it for protecting them. So
Oh,
Palo Santo
wow.
is known in the zone as a very protective tree, and it does protect us, and it inspires a lot of creativity and positivity in our worlds and in our minds and in our hearts, which makes ourselves generate this type of like protective energy bubble, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So,
No, it does.
yeah, so that's the history of it, at
Oh
least the
my
very
gosh.
short version.
Yeah. So that's, so back then they would start burning it. Is that because why
For
we do
sure.
it
So,
now?
well, back then a lot of people used it for firewood too because it burns so nicely. Now, firewood has been replaced by other types of wood, maybe even heat in some circumstances. And so it was always used in the more spiritual realm too. So shamans have been using this in South America for many, many years. Our whole line of products has been inspired by fire ceremony in Ecuador. So in Ecuador, shamans can
Oh,
create fire ceremony where to become this, they a lot of times they use candles as a way to train themselves by staring into the flame, looking for their truth, using the Palo Santo, maybe with copal or some sort of other um, you know thing of their choice,
yes.
but Palo Santo being the base, taking it and throwing it into the fire and creating these sparks that go up and that kind of really inspire you to find the answers that you're looking for. So, inspired by shamanism for sure. In coastal Ecuador, they still use it to this day. And another great use of it from a long time ago, all the way up until now, is that it keeps away all of the creepy crawlers and flying critters in a really nice way. So it's a natural
Oh,
mosquito repellent. So
okay.
so it's a great way to use it outside, and it smells really nice, and it's all natural because even if you buy like the citronella candles or like the spray, it's really like overbearing. And especially if you're eating, like you can't, I don't know. I feel like that's all you taste when you kind of burn those type of products. And so
Yeah.
this is a great alternative to that. Many, many people still use that. And we use generous amounts of Palo Santo for mosquitoes at our house in Ecuador for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For me, I love the smell. And it was actually first introduced to me by my son and daughter-in-law. They were
Wow.
like taking it around their house. I'm like, what is that? And then, I was trying to get some at the store and things, but when I got yours, the smell is completely different, in my opinion.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, in Ecuador, there is a very strict law that only indigenous people can harvest the wood, which protects the authenticity and tradition of the product. And also, we call them. There was a man called David Crow that wrote a book called Sacred Smoke, and he called them in his book wardens of the forest. And it's just amazing about how people who grow up in this area can go into the forest and they know each individual tree, how long it's been there. They can tell if it's healthy, how many years old it is. Palo Santo is a tree that can live anywhere between 50 to 80, 90 years.
Oh, wow.
So, and it actually grows pretty quickly. In that intro reel that you put together, which was so awesome, by the way, is
Thank
those
you.
two trees. If anybody's watching this later, there are two trees that we planted at our home just as a symbol that when we planted our first trees with our business, that was a symbol that we would continue to plant trees with with whatever funding that we could get, because it's really so important, and it creates so much pride for the local people too. People love working with it. They love teaching
Yeah.
me about it. I love hearing the stories about it,
Oh,
and how it supports people. And one thing on the coast of Ecuador is that, like in many places, especially now, jobs are not that easy to come by, especially for women. And our partners in Ecuador employ many, many women, and at sometimes almost double the rate of pay that they would normally get in other places. So just like these ethical
wow.
practices, these fair trade, these fair wages, especially for women, are super, super important to me and to my brand. So anything that we can do to create products that make people happy and also can create economic growth and stability for people and the forest, I'm like, okay, now this is like too much. I need to make as
Yeah.
many products as possible and just continue. And that's why it's my passion. Palo Santo is my passion. Laughter is always my medicine. And,
Yeah.
using it for healing, for my own transformation too, because Palo Santo had a major, major, major role in my transformation from leaving the restaurant business in New York to dedicating
Okay.
myself as a full-time yoga teacher, meditation guide, doing yin yoga, making candles, learning a whole new language
Yeah.
almost, and being
Yeah.
so connected to the things that in my heart really matter. It really supported me, and it's just become my mission to inspire people to follow their dreams no matter when that happens, because you don't know when things are going to happen. You can't plan it, but
Yeah.
if you just have that little bit of support, um, and for me, that was Palo Santo. That was the catalyst of my transformation. And just, I know that it can work for other people too. So I just want to
And
spread that message
and it's really also around self-care, I think too. And I
for
mean,
sure.
yeah, it's a bigger thing, but I personally have used it like when I'm sitting here in this little space doing this and all the other things I'm now starting to launch, there's a lot of stress at times. And that's why I asked you before we came on. I was asking her about sage. Like my husband's like, that stinks, you know? And
Yeah,
but
people love it or they hate it.
yeah, but the Palo Santo, they like the smell of
Yeah,
it.
especially men. Okay, fellas, who are the men listening right now? Because it has a woody,
Mhm.
citrusy, crisp aroma that is almost like, it's almost like resinous and rich, but also super dry and light. It's
Yeah.
not overwhelming, and it
Nope.
lingers, and it smells very clean. And so it kind of just sets the tone for other things. It's not overwhelming. So if you want to use it just for a quick minute in your room, it's great to use. Let's just face it, in people's homes, we have arguments, we have
Yeah.
words with our family members, with ourselves, right? We stub our toe, and then it's like, 10 curse words come out, and you're like, what just happened? I was in a
Yeah.
great mood.
Right?
There's like these little moments that a little self-care, just like you said, a little reset. Sometimes these things can be a tool, like, oh, I'm so mad. I can't believe this person said that. What's wrong with them? If you take a breath, light up your Palo Santo just for a moment,
Yeah.
allow it just to blow out like this. Just breathe it in, circle it around yourself, and literally just say to yourself, I release all the negativity around me, and I free myself from anyone or anything that it's not serving my higher purpose. I'm grateful, I'm happy, I'm powerful, and I'm capable. Boom, done. Move on. I guarantee you, you will feel better in under a minute. And this is very, very powerful. And because it's become very, very popular, I don't want people to miss out on its true power, because although it's trendy, it's a very, very powerful plant, and it's a sacred plant, and it should always be treated with respect. So if you have your Palo Santo, make sure that you keep it in a nice place. Make sure that you have, something nice to burn it in,
I
like a little
love
burner. These are my
yes.
burners.
So I want to start showing. So
Okay, start showing
here's
the
a
products. Yeah.
I'm gonna start showing stuff here. So I've got this. I had a small one, burned through it. I've got that one. I have this. If I don't want to like light something, I have this spray.
Got the spray. So
and
good.
I
I have the
just
spray. You can, well, what I just taught Kim was that you can spray it
Yeah.
on your hand, you guys. Rub it together. And then inhale.
so good.
It's so great. Direct palm inhalation. Be careful because Palo Santo is essential. You know, everything that we use, you guys, is made with 100% essential oil. So, like with anything essential oil, just always do like a little test spot on yourself first to make sure that you don't have any kind of reaction. We don't use any kind of chemicals, but essential oil itself is a very, very, very powerful thing. So, these are, you know, ancient medicines. And really quickly, Palo Santo, you guys, has been known to be excellent for respiratory health. It's antiviral, antimicrobial. You can use it. I love to use this little spray on my phone, the world's germ holder.
Oh, it is, right?
Like we wash our hands, we do all this stuff, and then we pick up the dirty phone that has been laying in I don't know what. You know, so it's like this weird thing. But you can spray a little on a cloth, spray it on the phone, wipe it off. It's all natural. It has, you know, those antimicrobial properties, antiviral properties, and it also uplifts your mood at the same time. And that comes from the terpenes, which is what gives it the scent. And there's one terpene in particular called D-Limonene. And if anybody is like a scientist or
wants to into all this.
So he probably already knows since he's a scientist and he's
not a scientist, but he loves plants and he's very good with it.
So he has that kind of scientist brain and he's your son, so he must be really smart. So but so the terpenes, it is what gives it the scent, but it's also what gives it the healing properties. So there is the major terpene is called D-Limonene, and this has been scientifically proven to help with a variety of ailments. I don't want to ever claim to cure any kind of medicine. You know, we don't ever want to claim that. But if you do your research, there are certain terpenes that have been proven to help, especially in the support of, you know, pain management. If you want to use it like by adding it a little to your massage oil or maybe putting a drop into your bathtub or burning the candle on your desk when you're working. There's a lot of creative boosting properties and focus properties that will automatically, when you start using these things on a regular basis, you guys, what happens is you start to train your brain through aromatherapy and through our olfactory sense, our sense of smell, which is directly connected to our memory, that you'll automatically start getting into these kind of focus states, creative states, Zen states, relaxation states faster, easier, and more consistently each time. So with however you want to use it. So we came up with the candles. Yeah, because not everybody wants to smudge with the stick all the time. And sometimes people can't have smoke around them, or sometimes maybe smoke isn't appropriate, right? Because let's face it, if you're at your office and, you know, maybe, you know, you don't want to be like Bernie to be like, what's wrong with that one? Like, I'm calling HR on her. Like,
I know.
You know, so there's like different ways that people can use it. You know, you don't have to be, I'm definitely, you know, I love that you call me not your average yogi, because I really bring a practical approach to it, because, you know, it doesn't have to take an hour. It doesn't even have to take 10 minutes. You can reset your mind and reset your mood and put yourself on the right track in, you know, a minute or two. And especially when it's really easy to use and so fun.
Oh, and the other day I was like, I've got so many projects going in, and I was just like in tunnel vision. And I was feeling exhausted. I was feeling just disjointed. I went outside, grounded myself. I still wasn't feeling like it. So I just came in here and started doing that. And it was like, wow. Like you said, those scents, the smells, right?
Exactly.
You know, we have to use our senses, the visual. You know, what do you have visual on your desk that's good? What do you have that smells good? What do you have? How do you raise that vibration, right? To have it, music, meditation, all of that. So
we are, yep. No, so go ahead.
Let's do, you did some of that. Is that kind of what you wanted to do?
Yeah. So yeah, no. So basically, you know, anybody who's watching this now or watching this later, if you have anything that you want to release or work on, I want you to bring it right into the middle of your forehead, right here, into the forefront of your mind. and just flutter down your eyes just for a second. And just take a big breath in. And then just relax your shoulders down and inhale again and bring the shoulders up to the ears this time. And then exhale, just let them drop down with the weight of gravity. Yeah, one more time. Bring them right back up to the ears. And then exhale, drop it down. And now imagine you were using your Palo Santo. And I'm going to just do a little smudge for us. And what we'll do during this smudge is we'll release and call in anything that we want and release anything that is no longer serving us. So you can do this inside of your mind and you can just repeat it inside. And you guys, so don't worry about the flame. Open your eyes for just a second. You're going to want to let it burn for just a second. Get a big old flame here and then just wave it around, and now you're going to get that beautiful white billow of smoke. It's okay if the smoke is black when the flame is lit. Don't be afraid of that. And now you can just maybe rub it around your head and just say things like, may there be peace in my thoughts. Maybe bring it down around your face, and may there be peace in my words always. Maybe around your heart space, and may there be peace in my heart and love. Maybe bring it around your arms and around your hands, thanking your body and so much gratitude for everything that it does for us, for everything that it does for you, knowing that your body is strong and beautiful. And now just send a little bit of healing to any parts of your body that may need it, any parts of your body that feel tension or strain or stress. And just breathe into those spaces. Knowing that the Palo Santo is here to protect you and guide you and support you, nurture you, and help you heal. And now that you had that word in your mind, give yourself the permission to release anything. And for me, that word today will be fear. And I'll just give you an example. I release all the fear around me so that I can be my highest performing self. I release all the fear around me so that I can be my highest performing self. And you can repeat that mantra as many times as you'd like. Sometimes you can repeat it 3 or 4, 10 times, depending on what your needs are. And when the Palo Santo goes out, the great thing about Palo Santo is that you can relight the same stick many, many
I was
times.
just going to ask. It went
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So and that's totally normal, you guys. So it's not going to be like a regular incense because it is all natural product and it does have a high concentration of oil inside. You can either put the stick out in a flame-proof dish, or you can relight it as many times as you like. But that's the great part about it is that once you light it, you're not committed to it for, 4 hours. So you don't need to take it out of the incense holder and, put it out. You can just use it. If you want to cleanse your space, we just did kind of like, I just was sitting down here and just did that kind of little mantra cleanse for myself and for all of you guys, sending you all of that powerful, protective, energetic love. But you could also do a quick cleanse of your space. So just like how you said your son and your daughter-in-law were doing it, you can take it, smudge your room, hitting all 4 corners, the top, the bottom, all 4 corners. And then maybe you can keep the doors and windows closed while you're doing it. And if you want to open the door when you're finished and just kind of release anything, because the one main difference between the Palo Santo and the sage, for all my sage lovers out there, is that sage is known to wipe everything away, where Palo Santo is great to inspire all the positivity and get rid of the negativity. So you kind of get the best of both. You can use them together too.
Yeah.
It kind of softens the smell of the sage if you want to
It
get
does.
both of those going. Yeah. So it's just a really
Yeah.
great tool to reset. If you're into yoga or to meditation, it will really, really help you up level your practice and create consistent habits. Because,
Mhm.
like anything, even as a yoga teacher, and this is like my life, sometimes as an energy person or provider, when you go to teach class, sometimes you teach and you give and you create, and sometimes you're like, wait a minute. I kind of feel like I feel great, but I also feel kind of depleted
Yes.
myself, and not in a
Yes.
bad way, but you're kind of like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with me? And you're like, oh, because I got to take care of me now. So self-care is really important, really, really important. So make sure that you're not draining your own cup. And if you do feel drained, just take that second to fill back up, because you'll create a domino effect in your life of happiness and joy. And all of a sudden, everybody around you will be happier and more productive too. Because especially as women, we're like, we're the center of our families a lot of the times.
Yes.
And people look to us for guidance. So it's important that we step up. So
It is that self-care. That I'm so glad you said it, because you hear me all the time talk about that here. It's so important that we take care of us so we can give. We get depleted. And I think we just subconsciously just have learned, for whatever reason, just to deplete. And I've got put stop points, in my day and in my life now, where it's like, okay, wake up. Where am I at? What am I doing? And I've been really grateful, to you for helping me learn more about how to just take that time to breathe. I definitely want to bring you back. I want to talk about breath work more at another time, because
sure.
that is so important.
And
But you
we just made a breathwork candle. Actually, that's
guys,
we're going to be launching. We made a spiritually sassy trio set, breathwork candle, smudging candle, and meditation candle that comes as a set, that are specifically formulated with different essential oils for those specific practices. So yeah, I would love to talk about that. There's so many different things to talk about and new
yeah.
products
But let's
coming.
talk
So
about Christmas. We got to get
yeah,
people focused on the
sure.
holidays.
I know.
So, all right. You are for us to reach out to work with you and
Sure.
to know what the products are and everything. I want you to talk about the stuff this Christmas is, which I'm already on your list.
Yes.
I'm getting the Christmas
I
stuff.
know.
So everybody, look at this. Is she up to date or what?
We're
QR
so high
code.
tech.
Yes. So everybody right now, take your phones. If you don't know how to use a QR code, just take your phone right now.
Open the camera.
Open the camera part.
Yeah, and then it'll pick it
It
up. You
goes,
can scan it,
yep. It's already gone. It's already there. Look.
and it'll take you right to it.
Yep.
Yep,
Look.
there it is.
There
And
it is.
actually, what you'll do when you scan the QR code, you receive a free guided meditation that I recorded in Ecuador this past August with my beautiful neighbor, who also happens to be a sound engineer that was world famous.
Wow.
He's now 71. If you guys want to know more about that, you can let me know. But he is an amazing human being that was so generous with his time to record these meditations. So you get a gratitude meditation in return. You get to be on the founding member list, which will keep you up to date and give you the first dibs at all these amazing products, because Palo Santo is a natural product. Supplies are limited, you guys. And, I just want to make sure that it gets in the hands of the people that love it the most, need it the most, and just will appreciate it the most. And I know that's anybody watching this. So I hope that you can, scan that code and get in touch.
So I forgot to ask, what does Maison mean?
Maison means house in French. So we are
Okay.
House of Palo Santo, Maison Palo Santo. So these are the two languages that we speak, Maison Palo Santo. And, we have kind of this language that we speak that is like French, Spanish, English mixed together. So yeah, Maison is house and Palo Santo is, the translation is holy wood. Palo Santo.
Palo Santo is holy wood.
Yes.
Okay.
So the house of holy wood.
Okay. I'm going to put this up again really quick. Everybody,
Awesome.
Please go. Seriously, I love the products and I use them daily. I promise you will not be disappointed.
And anybody who orders from the website gets a free gift when they first order. It's all personalized. I make each package with love by hand with my husband, Red. And we just put it's our greatest wish that our customers feel the love that we put into it, because the love starts in the forest. It goes down to the people who process the wood, and when I say process, I mean gather and cut it or distill it, um, all the way to me, who's like waiting for it. And we
Yeah,
get it and we cleanse it and we keep it in a beautiful place. And it's just all the way until it gets to you. It's a long journey. And
it
it's
is.
just it's very special. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming out. We are actually launching our sage essential oil from Greece that we're working with an awesome
Oh,
supplier that is supporting a lot of scientific research on
okay.
essential oil. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out about that. That's Spiritually Sassy Trio. We have 2 beautiful holiday candles coming out, which are the biggest, boldest, most beautiful candles that we've come out with yet. So I'm going to keep you in suspense on the scents of those. But
Okie
those will
doke.
be paired with, one of them is paired with an original song that I made with a dear friend, which I think that you might have
Yes,
contacted her, my friend, DJ Cherish the Love. So there's a really cool added bonus to that as well. And always surprises in my packages because I just can't
I
help
know. I get little surprises every
it.
time, and I love it. And so we'll do a commercial when you get everything together.
Okay,
We won't do a
cool.
full, but we'll do a
Yep.
commercial and we'll do that. So
That'll be fun. Holiday products are launching on the 7th of November. So please, please, please join the list so you can be
yeah.
um, not missing out on that.
Okay. Awesome. Again, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Kim.
coming today and
Of course.
letting us learn more about new cool stuff.
Yep.
All right.
Love it.
Love it. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, what an awesome show. I hope you got some education. Hope you got inspired. You got some new tools, some new way to meditate, some great products from a wonderful, wonderful woman, Mimi. Again, thank you so much for coming on. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in another week.